What's going on YouTube? Super Insane 18 here, and today I am bringing you an updated Floowandereeze deck profile. It has been quite a while since I've given you guys a new profile for this, and this is the one that I just used to take 10th at the case tournament, sadly just shy of the top 8, but it still performed pretty well, so I want to show you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, starting things off with the Floowandereeze monsters themselves, we are playing one copy of Stree and one copy of Talkin. Stree is one of those cards that for a very long time I really want to play like 2 of, but I did cut it to 1 for this list, and I didn't really miss the second one. I feel like with Verte being gone and DPE not being as big of a threat anymore, you don't really need it all that much, so it's kind of hit or miss. I think that 1 is fine, but I might move back to 2. It really just depends. Then we have our 3 copies of Eaglin and our 3 copies of Robina. These are just very standard. Obviously, they're the best ones in the deck. They're your searchers and the ones that you want to open with. And then we have 2 copies of Empin. I know that there's like an argument going whether or not you play 1 or 2 Empin. And personally, I think it is never correct to play 1 Empin. 2 Empin is just very important, especially because it's the best way to have the purest 1-card Robina combo, where with just Robina and nothing else, you can still barrier statue lock your opponent. So I think it's very important. And also, like in certain matchups and certain games, if you know you're going like second or something, it's a really good target to just side out. So having that as an easy side out option, as well as just the pure strength that it offers you on the turn 1, definitely worth having 2 of. Then we have our copy of Barrier Statue and our copy of Harpy Harpist. Harpy Harpist is something that's been going around for a little bit now. It's a really cool way to make sure your opponent can't get over your Barrier Statue. If you open up Robina and map, you pretty much guarantee that the only play they have is to normal summon, and if they normal summon, the Harpist is going to get summoned and bounce it away, which maybe if this video gets enough likes, I will go ahead and do another combo tutorial for this deck, because there are some more combos that I have yet to show you guys. Then we have the other 2 of the big birds, and that is going to be Mist Valley Apex Avion and then the Rise of the Mega Monarch. These are just standard and Omni Negate and a way to just bounce cards pretty much for free. So that's really going to be it. Then we have some hand traps. We are playing double DD Crow. I think DD Crow is absolutely essential in this format, just because of what the top decks are really shaping out to be. You're able to hit whatever the target for Branded Red is in the Despia matchup. You're able to hit the Tenyis in the Sword Soul matchup, and those are what a lot of people are considering to be the 2 best decks right now. So I think DD Crow is definitely worth having, plus you can search it off of your Robina. Then we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is kind of mandatory just because Despia exists. Ash Blossom is one of those weird hand traps where like it's generically good against everything. No matter what your opponent's playing, they're going to have an effect that is able to be ashed, but usually it's really not high impact enough. But specifically against Branded Despia, it's definitely very high impact, just being able to turn off the Branded Fusion, so I think that really kind of seals the deal for why you have to play Ash right now. Then we have our 3 copies of Dimension Shifter. Honestly, just an insane card. If you've ever played against this, you know how much it hurts, so I don't really need to explain it. We are playing 1 copy of Called by the Grave, and then 1 copy of Unexplored Winds. Unexplored Winds is a card that I might want to try it too, just because it's really good against the mirror match, and since the ban list, Floowandereeze has been everywhere, so I think it might be worth it, but I haven't really tested it yet. And then we're playing a little bit of a weird package. We're playing 1 of the Elborz, the Sacred Lands of Samorg, despite not playing the, I think it's Bird of Perfection, the new level 4 that came out recently. We're still playing the 1 field spell because we're playing Mystic Mine and Set Rotation, along with our Terraforming and our 3 copies of Map. Now, the reason for this weird ratio, because I've seen a lot of people playing the Set Rotation, where did it go? I've seen a lot of people playing the Set Rotation, but with 2 copies of Mystic Mine, and I just don't think that that's good, because if you're backed into a corner game 1, where you really need to activate Set Rotation to be able to play, you don't want to give your opponent Mystic Mine, because then you set up your board, and they just mine you, and you're just gonna lose. So I wanted to have an option to give them instead of the mine if I was forced to use my set rotation on turn 1. Just because I really didn't want to have to be forced to give my opponent mine, but I feel set rotation is necessary in this format. Because of every deck playing mine right now anyway, if you get mined, set rotation is your out. So you have your set rotation out the mine, and if you're able to establish enough monsters on board, you can also just tribute their mine if you have the unexplored winds, which is another reason that I'm partially considering too. But it's a little bit of a weird lineup, but it worked out for me, so there's that. Then we have our 3 Advent of Adventure, which is standard, our 3 Pot of Duality, and our 3 Pot of Prosperity. These are just your consistency cards. Prosperity also just says, see your side deck, so you have to play it. And then our 1 copy of Dreaming Town, and that is the main deck at 41 cards. Let's show you guys the extra. Now, I've got to preface this that 99.9% of the time your extra deck literally means nothing, so it can really be whatever you want, but that being said, I did build it with the most utility possible in mind. I wanted to make sure that my extra deck was usable in a pinch if it needed to be, so here's what we have. We are playing a Elder Entity Natis, a Cyber Dragon Nova, and an Invoked Mechaba. This is for anything if your opponent is playing Maximus, Dogmatica Maximus. That card's kind of fallen out of favor recently, but you have the slots in the extra deck anyway, so you might as well play it just in case. Then we have the Lyrilusk, the Downward Magician, and the Zeus. This is just the standard Zeus package for the deck. If you're backed into a corner, you just summon 2 birds without using effects, so like normal summon a bird, effective map, normal summon a bird, go into Lyrilusk, swing, and nuke the board. Then the actual cool thing, I saw this in a first place deck profile, and I thought it was really cool. The Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max and the Juggernaut Lead. This is also a reason to run double Empin, because 2 Empins, you can go ahead and burn for 2k and then swing for, I think it's like 6k into everything they control. So that's kind of an OTK in and of itself. Then onto the links, we have 1 Link Karibo and 1 Anima. These are just your basic level 1 Link 1 monsters. A lot of people won't expect the Anima either. Like, if you know that you're not going to be able to really play your turn, you could just normal a bird and make the Anima to suck something up if they're not playing around it. Then we have our small Charmer package. We have Dark because we have the Anima and the Link Karibo, and Dark is still a very relevant attribute in the game. And the Win is mostly for, like, if you're up against something like Sword Soul and they have a Baron in the graveyard, being able to steal their Baron is honestly just hilarious. Then we have a Tri-Brigade Farigite. This is just a consistency card. If you are in a scenario where you have to use your extra deck, you can turn 2 birds into this summons another, and then go into like a Link 3, get a draw, and it really just helps you out when it needs to. Then we have our 1 Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. This is just a really big threat. If you have an Empin on the field, just get rid of it and banish cards your opponent controls when you battle. And finally, we have our Underworld Goddess. This is how you out all of those monsters that say they're unaffected or can't be targeted or whatever it is. So this is just a really good out, and that is going to be the deck. And there you guys have it. That is going to be my updated Floowandereeze deck profile for the May 2022 format. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know the deal. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share with your friends, and maybe consider supporting me on Patreon, where for just $1 you can support the channel in a way that I would never be able to tell you how much I fully appreciate. And also, don't forget that I am looking to get some donations to help me make it to Nationals this year in Chicago. So if you wanted to donate, my PayPal and my Cash App will be both on the screen and in the description. Please don't feel pressured to donate, whether you do or don't. I love all of my subscribers equally. I just need a little bit of help to make sure that I can get there to bring you guys some amazing content. So if you're able to, definitely feel free. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.